That's all from us. Back to you guys at the desk.
Oh, so apparently Epic needs new emotes. Wait, they want us to do them.
Dude, no way. I am way too awkward for that.
My name is Romero Morales. My in-game name is Ghost Saf, and I'm from the Bay Area, California.
My name is Ronald Match. My in-game name is Ronaldo TV, and I'm from Canada, Toronto.
We won today because we were pretty consistent throughout the whole tournament. We got a lot of really good kills, like crucial kills for points and stuff. The crucial kills were like rotate kills, which added up like to more points we got.
Yesterday we were only playing solos, and today we managed to get off one game as practice, and then we went into the tournament.
We both hit our shots, and we both were pretty clutch.
Our play styles kind of like worked out. We're both experienced players. We've been in multiple bigger tournaments, and I kind of know Saf from like practice. I've played against him many times, and I guess we worked out together. We haven't played together, but against each other.
I didn't know what he looked like at first, though. What makes me a good player is my decision-making, aim, and building.
I think what makes me a good player is that whenever I make a mistake, I like to reflect on it and improve. I
wanted to win because I want to prove that like you could be the best.
I like to just compete against really famous players like Tifu, Bizzle. I like to play against them to prove that I'm also good enough to be like one of them someday. If you get opportunities by Epic Games, you should take it. If it's like $10, $20, anything that will get your name out there.
Practice and practice a lot. Do anything you can, like any of the game modes in Fortnite, just do them all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with day 2 of the Secret Skirmish here from this, well, very secret facility. I don't even know how to get here, but you hear it in the venue. These players are ready. Yesterday, such an insane duos competition, but today, only one thing matters. Solos from start to finish. No one to blame, no excuses. $400,000 on the line. Before we can get started with day 2, we've got to look back at how incredible day 1's competition went.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Secret Skirmish. And we're going to be starting off with some duos.
And surprise, there's $500,000 on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 between the Metal Wolf. Ricky has a nice shot. That's going to wind up putting them at 2 points in this game.
Now it's 8 eliminations, Jack.
Bonus to start off game 1. 9 comes in. 2 teams remaining. Sam's still on the high ground. Sam now weak, and there he goes. DMO and Tifu.
And all I could hear was just got another one, got another one, got another one. Just got lucky, I guess.
You want to make a prediction right now? Quickly. Bizzle. All right, she called it. Let's see if she's right.
There you go.
Triggy is going to drop down a little bit. He takes out Saf, however.
And boom.
There it is.
He could potentially top back up on shield 1. That's one.
Great pump shot, but he's got to get out of the storm.
That's a 95 that's down. If he can confirm this, he just has to wait it out. They'll fall to the storm.
Great shots, great positioning.
No
Absolutely
way.
amazing play from C's. That is 7 limbs and the win.
Of the Stormwing, this is.
No
I don't have words. Remaining stuck out in the storm, gets picked up by Thwyfo. Now it's just a straight one-on-one. Just shoots with Thwyfo, able to be picked up. Thwyfo goes down. Anthony cleans it up on the backside.
He's gonna commit.
Oh,
that's
takes
one.
it for 84 white. Oh,
Whoa.
but he gets picked off by Blue Tea. Now we just have 3 players left, but the victory royale goes for Zayt and Blue Tea.
Doubt is that his opponent is actually getting pinched from the back. Ghoul gets knocked down. The Thirst there.
Player who dies falls just on the outside of the skirt. There you go. Basel, 6 teams remaining. Whoever winds up getting dropped next, there's a placement point. Another one. Oh my, Saf now with 5 limbs. And he's earned his team another point as well for placement. Saf continues to do it. He's dropping him down. Saf with another. Oh my God. Oh my God. Saf brings his team from 1 elim to 8. Saf just clutched up and put his team on top.
Tomorrow, we're going to have the solos competition where we're going to be giving away the remainder of our $500,000 prize pool. We'll see you then.
I am still blown away by that insane clutch by Saf to end day number 1. Hopefully a sign of things to come here for day 2 of the Secret Skirmish. Let's take a look at our schedule. As I mentioned, duos are done. Solos are today. From top to bottom, we have 3 matches, a brief intermission. That's AKA Jack needs to eat food. Then we come back for 3 more matches tonight. The big prize money is here. Everything they've practiced and worked for is now on the line. All the players are in the lobby. They are ready. Let's send it to our casters, Monster and Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, Jack. I think he was just trying to say solo dolo action because it's about to go down. I'm excited, folks. It's going to be a good one. I'm Golden Boy. This is Mr. Fortnite himself, Masa D-Face. We're going to get ready to break down the action solos here. And, you know, I mean, you talk about solos, right? This is really like it's all up to you at this point, right? You're running as just one individual, just trying to get that coveted victory royale. A lot of pressure, Monster.
Yeah, it's not like yesterday where players were randomly paired up against one another. We're talking this is you going toe-to-toe with all of your favorite competitors.
Yep.
And, you know, some of the best players in the world on the one hub.
You're running by yourself. Luckily for us here, we are not running by ourselves. We actually have a stellar team that's going to be covering all of the action. Look at them right there.
Yes.
We got Pal. What's up, Pal?
Oh, my God. What's up, Golden Boy?
Hey, I'm good. What's up with you?
I'm here with the squad. These are the beautiful faces you'll be seeing throughout the day, reporting, hosting, casting. So I'm really excited to get this started. So I'm going to throw it back to the desk.
Well, thank you so much, Pal, for that one. Yes, you're going to see everyone throughout the broadcast, alternating, you know, jumping in and out, like casting, hosting, doing sideline interviews, getting the stories on the floor as they happen. But there has been some crazy updates that have happened to Fortnite coming into this event. Let's actually break them down right now. 7.40 brought some changes that a lot of people were really, really excited about, Monster.
Yeah, let's touch on these changes. Planes no longer able to smash through structures, and we saw that for 5 games yesterday where no one used it offensively. At the end there, everything was in the air, though. Yep. Players kind of going for it. They didn't care. But zipline and a rack prompt added. Now you can use the zipline, and it grants fall damage immunity, which is really awesome. Hand cannon change is another big change to aggressive play on how these professionals kind of go toe-to-toe with one another.
Yep.
It's either going to reward you in full or you're going to get punished for hesitation, which I think is the way it should be. And this last 7.4 patch, the game has just gotten so much better. Huge quality of life buff.
Yeah, that's right. They also added some new things as well. They added the infantry rifle, right? They also added some adjust for the rocket launcher reload time, which actually comes into play in those intense scenarios like
and we saw that yesterday. Someone eliminated themselves because they messed up the tick on how fast it is to reload now. So the game is constantly evolving, and these players have to adapt with it. But where the game is right now, it is just getting better and better.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things. We saw clingers get unvaulted, make a return. You got the infantry rifle, which we didn't really cover there, but you'll be seeing that pop up here and there, especially in the early game. Saw that pop up a little bit. It's going to be solos, though, so maybe players are going to be going for weapons that they're very comfortable with, because the format doesn't really welcome much to, you know, throw some changes out there, I should say, right? Because you got to really go for the gold here. 7 eliminations gets you 3 points, 5 to 6 gets you 2 points, and then 3 to 4 elimination grants you 1 point. We'll be keeping tabs on that one, but there's also placement, which is always king in these types of games.
Without a doubt, in this solo format, 4 to 10 is going to be worth 1, and just inching your way up to that victory royale. Here, hopping over to the solo prizing. This is the biggest prize pool of the week, right? As far as the last few events go, it's larger than the duo portion yesterday. First place, 60,000 in prizes, and only top 20 make a payout this time around.
There's a lot of money on the line here. Now, we're always watching. We're always listening. Okay, and we heard you loud and clear. So what you can do is you can actually go to twitch.tv/Fortnite action feed. You can go there, twitch.tv/Fortnite action feed, and there you can see the action feed to see who fell, who's still standing, who's going to make it to that end game. So you can go there right now, keep that alongside your stream, and then this way you can keep track with the players and the action as it goes along. So once again, go to twitch.tv/Fortnite action feed. It's brand new. It's brand new. Literally just get thrown right here because they're always listening. All right. Anyway, for now, though, we're going to go down to the floor. We actually have Pow with some folks down there.
That's right. I got Aiden and Cease with me here on the show floor, and I feel like the energy is, they're ready to go. Now, Aiden, you're representing the controller gang. I know yesterday probably wasn't your best plays. How has the whole mindset reset for your solos today?
It's a new day. Solos is completely different. Everything is on you, you know. There could be, I don't have to worry about like my teammate or, you know, it's just whatever decision you make is your fault. If you die, it's your fault. So that's how I like to play.
Now, I know you're also a really aggressive player coming into all your plays. Any strategic changes coming into that since we're coming into solos today?
Yeah, my test games, I decided to drop somewhere else. So we might see some of that, play a little bit more defensive, play late game. That's what I'm working on.
All right, Cease, I got to know, man, not having Elevate here, does that change anything? Did you even have a chance to talk to him about yesterday a little bit?
Yeah, so me and Elevate have looked over many of my own games, and just we've gone through a lot, and I've learned a lot from him, so he's taught me a lot about how to prepare for this tournament. So having him not here is not the greatest, obviously, but, I mean, he's helped me through pre-practice, so.
All right, so I got to know, if you can 1v1 anybody here, who's it going to be?
That'd have to be Tom, 72 hours.
All right, 72 hours. I hope you're listening then. I got to ask you the same thing, too.
Give me that Nicholas Merck guy, dude.
Okay, all right, shots fired. All right, well, we'll see how today pans out. I'm going to throw it back to you, Golden Boy, Monster D.
Thank you so much, pal. I like the good old Nicholas Merckx. He wants to go after that one. I'm interested in seeing what Aiden does because he's going to be throwing maybe some new looks out there. But let's not forget that Cease and Elevate, they did manage to come out first place in WSOE. We had the opportunity to cover that event. Very, very good team here. And I know that there were a lot of questions. I think folks were like, hey, certain players weren't there, and that's why they did really well. But they're good players, man.
But that's also why C said of all the people he wants to see out there on the field, it's going to be 72 hours. And I think we all know where this guy's landing. It's somewhere in the northeastern foresty part of the map. We'll see if we see that toe-to-toe today.
Kind of a woodsy part of the map. All right, well, we'll look at that in a little bit when we get into the action, though. For now, though, we actually want to cover some of the players that I think are going to be probably one of the favorites going into this event, right? We'd be remiss if we did not talk about Bizzle. This guy is a beast, and I think he could be like one of the guys that like stands up on the top of the mountain when this is all said and done, Monster.
Bizzle's definitely a favorite. We saw him come out heavy for a top 5 performance in the duo qualifier yesterday, or the duo competition yesterday, I should say. Here's a little information from New York City, like us. There you have it.
That's right. Bizzle, very, very well known from New York there. And also, I mean, there's no bias, okay, folks? There's just no bias. Just throwing it out there. But yes, this is certainly going to be a player that you got to look out for without a doubt. And while we do have a favorite, there's also got to be an underdog in this one. There are 100 players out there, so it was very hard to pick just one player. But this player is going to be Vinny. We talked about Vinny because he's known amongst the competitive Fortnite community, but maybe not well known amongst the broader Fortnite community, like names like Tfue or Cloaksy.
Yeah. No, without a doubt, hashtag underrated for Vinny1X. Here's a look at Vinny from California. Favorite spot to drop, Salty Springs. And this is he's better known as the counterpart of Zexro. Again, both of these guys came out heavy yesterday. Zexro actually had a fairly good duo day for what it was worth, but Vinny had an even better lead up in the previous solo competition. So to see Vinny out here today, he's our underdog of choice for sure.
Yeah, I think he's going to do pretty well. Let's be on the lookout for him. But we also have the roster, and when we get an opportunity, we can take a look at that one because we have a lot of names to get through here. Looking at this one, players that stands out to me right away, Cloaksy, 72 hours. Like, these are guys that I think the Fortnite community, they know, they love, they know that they're going to perform pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. 72 and Cease. I want to see that head-to-head today. It's going to happen at some point or another. that is a story that I want to see happen today. Som, another solo participant who comes in every time, and especially under solo circumstances, handles that pressure.
And we'd be lying to you all if we didn't talk about Saf. After yesterday.
Saf and Ronaldo, fantastic performances. Clearly our champions of yesterday, they're at the top of our list as well.
And we discussed Vinny. We have some more names to go by, like, you know, Aiden or Zextro or Bowman, Nolan, who's our Winter Royale winner, right? Like, there's a lot of names on here. Tricky Swords, who had a big day yesterday in the duos matchup. There are too many good players on this list.
Golden Boy, you stole the words out of my mouth. There are too many to highlight here. Zextro and just Cease, Karos, these guys are here to bring it. We even touched with Slobbings on a nice little package earlier. Slobbings, another controller gang player, awesome on the field right there. You have Tfue here.
That's right, Tfue, blue team, won a game in the duos matchup yesterday. Zate as well. They're just, it's loaded, it's stacked. There's too many good players here. I think Hysteria will be mad if I don't mention him. Nick Merckx as well. I've known these guys for years, so yes, there are a lot of great players. We're doing our best to cover it all. We're doing our best to share the love.
Oh.
You like that? You like that? That's right. It's very easy. All you do is use that hashtag, share the love. Get out there. Let everyone know what's going on. And share the stream. Who you think is going to win. That's the most important thing. Who is going to come out on top in the solos competition? Is it Tfue and his Lamborghini? Who knows? Who knows? I had an opportunity to take a picture of that today. It was quite nice.
Hashtag share the love. Get your Season 8 Battle Pass. You can win that just by grinding out some challenges. So make sure you're taking the time to get into that free Battle Pass.
That's right. I already bought that skin. Just throwing it out there. I opened up on mobile and I was already buying all the skins. You can play now, earn the Season 8 Battle Pass by completing the challenges. It's very, very simple to do so. Once again, to Share the Love event, use a hashtag Share the Love. Also use a hashtag Secret Skirmish. Share this event. Let everyone know what's going on over here. We're going to have a good day. We got solos competition. And you see it right there, right? Complete 13 overtime challenges, and then you will get that Season 8 Battle Pass for free. It ain't a secret anymore, people. Everyone knows.
It's out there.
And get it. Get that free stuff. That's all I'm saying. But it's time to get into game number 1. Monster, I'm excited, man. I know we had to do all the coverage at the beginning of the day, but I just want to jump into the action, brother.
Now that that's out the way, guys, we're going into game 1 of the solo competition here at the Secret Skirmish. The battle bus is launched, guys. Match 1, Golden Boy.
Oh, boy. I'm excited. And I also got to cover this crack on the floor that's a little horrifying.
Look at that llama.
Yeah. Hey, maybe someone can go for that. Oh boy, you know what? You and I, we have a very dark history of commentating events and things happening to us. I'm hoping
it's upon us. It has happened. The field has evolved just ever
stay
so
like
slightly.
That. Crack on the floor, please. Oh boy. Okay, so looking at this bus path here, right? It's going from northeast down to southwest, right over Wailing Woods. That is an area that I certainly want to put eyes on because we know some players are going to be dropping in the forest trees.
Yeah. We talk about Cease, we talk about 72. They have more players in the area. They're not just going to be a 2-man. It's 4 players here. Take a look at the block. How's the block getting this much action? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in the vicinity. We talked about the crack in the ground. There's a player by that llama. He looks like he's eyeing it over in that direction. And for everyone tuning in right now, this is solos, guys. Tilted Towers, equally contested at this moment.
I do got to mention our first blood already came out. Nick Merckx got an elimination on Sheep early on. Once again, make sure that you're checking it out on the Fortnite action feed. You can go to twitch.tv/Fortnite action feed to see who is dropping down first. And seems like also Nick Merckx is going to be out of action as well as we make our way to Tilted. So out of the break right away. And Aiden, always a person that you want to highlight because of the way that he plays. Game 1, Tilted Towers. I thought he was going to drop somewhere else.
I was going to say, he told us he was staying away. I think he's trying to fake out the competition to throw some people off guard, and I don't blame him. That's a good game plan here. All the players can hear him, right? He's not going to be there. Maybe they gain confidence.
Yeah, but there is I don't know, there is value in my mind dropping, you know, elsewhere other than Tilted.
Here's what I will say. When was the last time you've seen this many players in Tilted Towers? The one time Aiden says, you know, I got a new place I'm going to land. Boom. Everyone lands there. I say it is no coincidence. They probably thought they were going to get a free pass from Aiden.
Wow. I have to say that is quite impressive. Aiden is going to be taking some fire, though, and he's going to need to have to get that high ground. It's going to be Deuces right below him. As we go into Aiden's perspective, he's going to have that Rift to go, compact SMG, as well as the heavy AR. Redeploy. Stink Bomb is actually going to force him to have to go back now. And remember, folks, if you're watching for the first time, it's now in the game in the regular settings, but we're playing with the Siphon setting. So whenever you get the elimination, you have 50 HP that is going back into your person. So that is very good for some engagement, for some aggression. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it online, how they feel. And it certainly has created some great moments. But Deuce is now also dealing with Slobbings, another tilted regular. You can always rely on him to go to tilted.
Yeah, Slobbins has really shown up lately. He's gone toe-to-toe with all these players here. I love what Aiden did there is talk about the disengage, trying to constantly favor his right camera angle, backing up, ready to lure players into a heavy shot. So Aiden does kind of squeak away here into the main building. It's just a standoff. Talk about the shots being fired. Slobbings came right away. That's what happens when there's this many players in a small, congested area like Tilted Towers.
Yeah, Deuces is going to back away, recognizing that it's not worth to try and chase that fight. Aiden also went into the same building where Deuces is. And I'm enjoying this competition because I know that there are a lot of great players out there that have been grinding out the pop-up cups. They've been going after just all of the opportunities that present themselves, like Winter Royale that was completely open for everyone. And it's nice to see players that are not like your usual names. Yeah, you have your usual suspects here, right? Like your T-Food, 72 Hours, Bizzle, so on and so forth. But it's nice to see players that are really just, this is like their breakout moment. And if they're able to capitalize on it, be the one that picks up that victory royale, like that really just, that's a huge confidence booster, I think, for the entirety of the pro Fortnite community that is always out there grinding scrims, grinding those pop-ups.
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday when players found out who their duo counterpart was, you saw the excitement in some of these guys' faces, right? And just energy, demeanor. When they felt or found out they were being paired with some of the people they look up to in this community, it's got to feel good to come out and try and prove yourself with that player as well.
Yeah, but now there's no more looking up to them. Now it's about putting up or shut up, right? And here's a little replay here of Blind, who went up against Jae Young. Nicely done there. Follows up, gets the elimination onto Jae Young, and sends him packing. You saw that Stormwing there as well. And then ends up having to, I think he may have thought like, hey, I just need to loot up. I need to get what I need to get here. You always want to play cautious in these solo competitions because you never know. Third party can come out of nowhere if the fight drags on for too long.
Yeah, I want to talk about Blind here. One of the players that, you know, just recently has been having a struggle in these competitions, but to see him kind of holding his own here is really great. But we got a standoff of Persecute and Povzy.
Povzy. He's waiting. Persecute. He's going to be turtled inside of there. You hear the changes, the edits, and just trying to get the angles. And, you know, Povzy's making a lot of noise here, and I like this. He's going after the wall. There's no reason for that player to waste the materials. He doesn't have any more materials to boot. Povzy's going to back away, goes for the shot. Oh, but Persecute's going to be able to get out of there. Povzy needs to be careful. And there you hear the Stormwing firing, and I don't think he's going to see him from around the corner, and Povzy is going to eat that one. Well played there by Persecute. The Stormwing created a little bit of that audio, you know, nullification, and he just could not hear it. Potentially, anything could have happened in that particular scenario there. Povzy out of this. Now we're going to have Aiden once again meeting up Deuces here in Tilted Towers. They engaged initially. Deuces did have the high ground, and then Aiden decided to back away into the big building. Aiden now is going to be in this battle once again. Can't seem to get away from Deuces, who's been hot on his tail this entire time. And Aiden now is looking around, seeing where this player is going to be. And Deuces disengages all the way back, not opting to go for the fight quite yet.
It's a cat and mouse game between these two. Both of them, again, a really skilled player is always going to fight when they're most confident, and that's why you see these disengages and these engages. They want to set it up so it's picture-perfect, clear when you take on these players. If you have a slight doubt, slight hesitation, you get out of there. And that's, there it is. Aiden's looking to just dip out, get to the zone now. The zone is all the way on the east here. Naga raining fire down on Germ.
Naga's going to have that high ground and a grenade launcher to boot. They will be trapped outside of the storm, though, so the fight's going to be taking place here. And this is good. So Naga uses that launch pad, just gets out of there, but he gets tagged and is now at 49-13. Oh, boy, this is not looking good for Naga. He needs to just continue to dip and dive out of this one as best he possibly can and stabilize for the time being. Still not going to be safe bear that in mind, and he doesn't have the heal, so he needs to get the elimination, or he just has to book it and get out of there. He does not have a lot of time to work with.
He knows he has to take this fight or go for the apples. It's like a decision that's going to alter the rest of this game here. Is he going to go for it? Oh, Campfire comes out. This is his final stance here.
That was his last opportunity, but he gets forced away from it because of the stink bomb, and that is so rough for Naga, and just getting tagged up. He would have been fine otherwise, but because he got tagged flying away, that put him in a really precarious position. That is unfortunate. But now we got Devious and Ronaldo here. Boy, this is just, the engagements have been very intense in match 1, Monster.
Yes, they have. Every battle matters. And just like that, anything can happen here. Ronaldo looking to land a shot on Devious. He does have the advantageous position here. Just kind of hovering up over. He's going to take the pop shot. He lands one right there. Bye-bye. 48 shield from Devious.
And look at the bottom of the map there, right? There's a player right behind Ronaldo.
There's always players nearby. There are 81 players alive in his first solo match here.
Devious is going to continue to back away. He's throwing that wall down to just give himself some more, give himself some defense, right? He's creating that quote-unquote shielding for him, if you will, disengaging.
It's actually Kiwi who's nearby. You heard the shots. He kind of backed off here. Doesn't want any piece of this. These long circle rotations will force players to just play a little bit more passively. Kiwi going for the boost off on the ATK there. Bye-bye. He is gone.
Oh, and Ronaldo's going to eat a shot from the left side as he was going for the shots there on Kiwi Face, who was trying to just run away and use that boost that you had mentioned, Monster.
Yeah, Devious, you know, every shot matters. He's trying to just chip his opponent down. You know, it's still one of those things, though. He's got plenty of minis. Ronaldo's yesterday's champion, so his game sense is, it's up there, say the least. I wonder if he's going to look for the rotation or push here. Yeah, he's just trying to break line of sight. There it is. He's back to the Stormwing. He's probably going to get hit once here.
Well, I think there was actually some activity that was going on over there in where Devious was. Yeah, it looked like a player was trying to third-party that fight. Devious ended up getting tagged up, so he got distracted for the time being. So he's going to fly away from that. Might have been
a little saving grace there. Look at this. This rotation is insane, guys. So the map or the circle, the Storm is pushing way southeast here.
Yeah, it's going to that Lonely Lodge area. There's Devious. Oh, boy. 78 players. We're just in the second phase here, and it's about to close in some more. These players are going to have to start to push on further. There are a few bodies that are going to be lingering by Salty, by Dusty, Tomato Temple. Just a lot, and also that Storm Surge warning. We'll cover that in a second. For now, though, we did have some more Tilted Towers activity. Or actually, I stand corrected because it was Slobbings. I just assumed it was a Tilted, but it's actually going to be Slobbings here in the low ground against Grenades. Wow, just beamed him there with that blue pump. Goodbye. Now Aiden is going to be in a battle against Slobbings, and Slobbings is so low. This is a battle between two Tilted Legends, and that is going to be the elimination, and Aiden will win that one out. He's just got to get through quickly enough. He's getting also shot third-partied as well, Monster.
He's going to go for it. Oh! Roat lands the long shot there, 139 meters away. That's going to be Roat's 4th elimination. If I'm not mistaken, that is
number 4.
Huge.
Boy, this has been intense. I love it. I love it. You could feel the tension in the room. Whereas like yesterday, I think a lot of players were really like, you know, there was a lot of the randomization kind of created a little bit of that fun atmosphere. There was still some money on the line, but this is $400,000, $60,000 for that first place prize. Game number 1, you really want to set that tone early on here.
Yeah, Golden, the stakes are so much higher this time around. Here's Lyrison looking for the rotation here. He does not want anything to do. I like what he's doing here. He's minimizing, you know, usage of materials, just kind of going with a risky, free rotation through the center here. Sidekick so close by, but, you know, he just doesn't quite glance in his direction. He's trying to get that center map for free right here. This is huge.
There are going to be 2 players inside of the lodge. And Lyrison hears this. He got the FPS. Another one right below. And he's just going to try and set up a little tower of defense here. Just keep himself going. CBK Flame will be low on HP. You see him just drifting away there. He has high shields, or full shields, I should say. So because of that, should be all right. Hopefully he gets a med kit or campfire. There's certainly a few around here that he could use to his benefit.
Oh, he's on top of Morg, actually. Morg and Ghoul here. And Lonely Lodge, 72 hours, not far behind. We have so many good players
I know,
now
man.
looking to compile right on top of one another.
I'm really liking this. And I just like, too, that Learson slowed things down, right? No need to get insane. You just want to wait to see where that next circle is going to go. You have a minute left, so you gotta create that tension there and the Siren.
Yeah, we talked about Blind earlier, kind of just making a comeback here. Blind doing good so far. Siren, 200 damage dealt.
That's right. Did manage to pick up a point as well.
3 eliminations. Must have been some early game ones.
Pretty nice for Desiren. Germ on the free rotation. He's going to go for the shots there. And
he's not going to land anything. He's just going to chill out to the next zone.
Yeah, put the fear in him there, right?
Looks like there's a big old fight happening in retail right now. You can kind of see it off in the distance. Hopping over to retail, Roat, Snood, Frosty, Trigger.
Roat's at 5 eliminations now. He's having a big game. I would like to keep more eyes on him if he continues to go like this. Because if that's the case, Roat could be going in the end game looking pretty.
He's knocking on big bonus territory here, guys. Hopping over to Roat, putting shots on Jo now, and Pate, who's right in front of him.
He's getting tagged up, going to be dropped down to 23 shields and needs to disengage from that. Because of the fact that that stink bomb, it kind of creates that cloud. It creates that cloud of smoke that's going to force the players to have to just drop back. You don't want to stay inside of there. Obviously, it's stink bomb.
Yeah, fun fact, Roat actually handled Aiden and Slobbings in this game so far. These controller warriors are getting taken out. Roat. All right, now he's looking to take on Triggy. There's only about 5 controller players here. If he takes all of them out in one game, what a legend. What a legend.
Right in front of him is going to be Triggy.
This is a big battle for Roat. Triggy wants no part of it.
Jumps on out of there. That storm's coming in, so wise enough to just get out. Roat's going to use it as well. Get into that safe zone. Shots are coming in. You see that activity happen.
He is landing on him.
That is very ambitious. Paytech was right above him there, and he does get control of that wall. And he's going to go for it. I like the aggression that we're seeing here out of Roat. Paytech goes in for the shot.
Ooh, it's a standoff. Who's going to make the edit?
This is risky here, man. Roat, he's just turtling up, just waiting. He's waiting for that moment to push out so he can get more control. Get control of the walls. They're going to be around there, but he gets tagged up, and Roat's going to go down by Paytech. That is unfortunate for him, but 5 eliminations in game 1. That's huge.
He let his guard down for 1 second, and Pate took control of the ceiling, made the quick edit, and dropped him right there. And that was all really to blame. That rocket that came in threw him off for a second there. That's the first elimination for Pate here, putting him in a good situation now health-wise. He's got so much heals, extra launch pad.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. Very intense game in game 1, and there were a lot of moments that we did not catch. Luckily for us, we got Sundown standing by over at the analyst corner. Sundown, what you got?
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. We're going to hop right on in. J-Truth, you saw him yesterday with Wipo pushing McDongle, but McDongle's going to make him pay. Despite being down HP, close quarter combat, great 95 shots, stays with it, making sure it's tracking on top of it. Next, we're going to jump on over to Persecute with a cheeky little bloom play here. Look how he goes up from the low ground, comes right around it, make sure he uses the Storm Wing for cover, and pushes right in. 95 damage. Pobsy had no chance there. We're going to jump on over now to Aiden. Now, I want to stress here his patience. He could have taken the shot a number of times, but he wants to make sure he hit it. Waits, knows that player is looking for a shot, and there it is. The second the player paused, Aiden was there to capitalize. Veteran move from him. Now, speaking of veteran move, check Sean's awareness. Base Soldier is sitting on the 50 field, but Sean is going to use the Stinks. And Base Soldier, that one smells. You might want to get away from it. Stinks bypass shield. Great Elim heads-up play. Golden Boy, you were talking about it. He was on 5 Elims. Let's see how he got those 2 pets. Roat from the Winter Royales, someone we haven't seen before. Look at that shot, so precise on Slobbings, and he's not done yet. The tracking again. We saw Aiden earlier. He's going to get a piece of his own action. Roat picking it up there for the 4th Elim. He was able to get 5, 2 points early for him. That's solid for game 1, Golden Boy.
Yeah, indeed it is, man. Thank you so much, Sundown, for that. Also, just an update on where we are standings-wise. You got Roat, who has 2 points, those 5 eliminations. He's out of the game, but the only players that have points right now is Desiren and Aspect. They have 3 eliminations each. We have a lot of players, though, that are on the cusp of being able to pick up a few Elims, and I'm going to make sure I keep track of this as it builds on. There have been some great moments this game thus far, and Roat has to be happy with that performance in game number 1. But look at the congestion here of this Storm monster. So many players, 49, all fitting into this tight spot.
We haven't seen this many players alive in a while. That's what happens when you get the solo competition. It's only, you and your decision making. You are going to be super passive. I can't tell you or can't stress how many, Q&As we had with these players and said, what's your game plan? Play for endgame. So many of these guys want to make it to the endgame for that victory royale.
And when you think about this first moving circle and how the players, you're hoping that you're at the edge and that 50% of that circle is on your side. Fortunately for them, for guys like Aspect, for example, that are going to be all the way on the outside, they need to make that rotation, but a player's going to go right for the attack, and it's Fulmer. And Aspect's going to regroup here for the time being. Aspect does have a point.
I love that. Catches Sean, trying to use the cone trick, sitting in the cone to catch Bizzle off guard, but now Sean's going to get punished for that. And it's time to get on out of here, start making your way to this next zone. Love what he does here. He puts down pressure and then rotates. So there's no way Sean's going to counterfire. Bizzle's obviously, distracted at this moment. This is game sense from Aspect here. He's going to make this zone rotation. I believe in it.
Bizzle was one of the players that we said were the favorites, someone to look out for in game number 1, and heck, maybe in the entirety of the solos competition. Aspect, though, getting tagged up on the left side, 54 shields left for him. Needs to just wait it out a second here, catch any of the potential stragglers. Has a little bit of time to work with. Paytech, we saw a little while ago, picked up an elimination of his own. And Aspect, oh man, look at that. He's just going to use that launch pad, and that's going to allow him to just go right back into the safe zone. But he's got to pick a good spot here. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, Aspect was almost victim of the early rotation, where you kind of waste your materials, but his patience kind of plays off there, holding ground, catches that launch pad to get to the next zone, and the congestion is real now. There are over 30 players alive left in this first move in zone, and it's only going to start dropping now as the shots start raining in on players that are looking to make position here. Armand gets hit.
Yeah, and Armand, he's just going to have to back away from that one. Eats a shot there from that purple pump. Oh, boy.
Dude, Aspect is on a hunt here.
Yeah, I mean, when you see how Aspect's playing, he's on the prowl. Man, it's on a mission.
That's another big heavy sniper shot there. The heavy sniper can break any wall in this game, and if you catch a player off guard with it, you're going to punish him. He almost took control of that wall there. Look, he's on the rotate again. He is on it here.
Trying to go after number 4. It's Ghoul. Using that campfire, trying to regain health. And that campfire is also going to inform Aspect that he should be low. He's going to try and put the pressure on him, but ends up getting that counter pressure. So now Aspect just has to get away from there. He does have a med kit, but he doesn't have any minis. He has nothing to give him the shields, and he's at 19 HP. Just needs to slow it down here, heal up, and wait this one out. But look at the carnage as it continues to ensue here. 29 players left as we go into our next circle. That's going to be northern of where they are currently. Over to Vinny. This was our underdog. He's got 2 eliminations.
Shot for Triggy right there. He lands his first elim. Vinny's on the pressure here, Golden.
Oh, and Vinny, he's ate those shots. He's at 21 HP, but he does have minis.
He has no mats.
He has no mats to work with. He needs to get something. He needs an elimination here and then go and collect the resources from the player that drops. But all these players are nowhere around him. Vinny is in a real tough spot here.
He absolutely has to connect.
Finds one in front of him.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one on the Frosty. That gives him a point, but Zextro's there on the cleanup.
Aspect somehow finds 2 more with a no health rotation. One of the gutsiest rotations we've seen. He's prioritized positioning. Clearly the positioning paid off. Here he's sitting at 5 big eliminations. 20 players remain. No one's gotten a point for placement yet.
34 seconds until the storm starts moving again. Aspect has been a beast this game.
He is contesting the high ground.
Also, just want to give you an update as far as players concerned and where they are with eliminations. Armand has 5 eliminations. Tyler's picked up 3. Saf has 2, but Tyler is going to be out of the action. And here's
Aspect
Armand.
is moving so fluid right here. Armand on 5 eliminations. Any one of these guys can trigger a big bonus.
Good waterfall there. He's just going to disengage. Does have to eat some damage.
No heals, though.
He's hoping that someone gets a little overzealous and pushes him here. And then he can get that buyback on the HP. We're now down to 11 players.
1 more elimination for Aspect, and he's going to be able to trigger big bonus. He does have the lead on the zone here.
72 hours with the ultimate high ground up above.
And he can recycle as well.
Oh, Legendian, he was eating shots there as well. Legendian backs away, so Armand, Aspect on the screen to your right, but you see the overhead action as it continues to unfold. Legendian's going to be out. Sofa's going to be out too. Armand picks up the elimination. That's going to be number 6 for Armand.
There There it is, our two players that need that big bonus on the next elim here.
Aspect is so intense because they're just scouting around, they're looking, they're waiting. And the fact that Armand still managed to stay in this one despite having no shields, that is massive. That is massive from 72 hours. Also, I need to highlight this, still continuing to roam that high ground. Aspect low on HP. Sav's going to be out. Aspect's going to be out of here. Now we're just down to the top 4. You got 72 hours. You got Armand. Can Armand be the player to come out on top? Player in front of him. He's going to be able to nail Ghoul with the shots there with that heavy AR. And it's going to be a 1v1 now.
Can he land his shot? He's looking to take him off this high ground here.
Oh!
And he doesn't. It's 72 hours who falls down and connects with the big shot. Only 2 eliminations for 72, but it's a huge victory because that was worth 3 big points. 72 hours was one of our X factors coming into this. He is a consistent player. For him to get it on first game.
Huge, huge game there for 72 hours. Armand was on the low ground. Here are the final moments. 72 hours. He waterfalled down, he just waited, he played the ultimate high ground, knowing that Armand did not have much to work with there, dropped down and connected with the shotty, and that is gonna do it, and that was a green pump as well. Drops on down like a graceful gazelle. Look at him.
An end game for 72, he's gotta feel so elated. Oh,
boom,
the biggest prize pool on the line. Way to come out for 72.
And Armand, let's not forget, made the best of a bad situation.
Oh, yes, he did.
He did not have shields for the entirety of that endgame fight. So he was constantly playing out of this like really weird spot, whereas
he
72 hours hit so much. Yeah, yeah.
It was crazy. Like Aspect and Armand was having just 2 fantastic games. Armand playing the ultimate low, Aspect just dominating mid-ground. He even took out Sav there, who was our yesterday champion. So for him to go toe-to-toe with Sav, I thought he was going to be able to take it all, but hey, 72 kind of cleaned up real quick there.
Big win for 72 hours. He's going to take game number 1. We're going to hear from him right now. Let's head on over to the floor.
Thanks, guys. Yes, 72 hours. Man, you were playing so confident into that. I know there's been a lot in your head. You've been thinking about a lot of stuff. I've been reading your socials. Let's walk a little bit into that last play for us.
I had hike, and I knew I had way more mats than everyone else, so I just played it slow and then took a pump after I knew he had his AR out. So, yeah, it worked out. It worked out. You got some points on the board. So I want to ask you, Cease called you out earlier saying he was going to take you out on a 1v1. I know. He's over here. Anything you'd like to say about that? Who's Cease? I'm just kidding. I love Davis. Cease is the man. I'm just messing with him.
All right. Well, any shout-outs to your community out there for taking that first victory?
You know, shout out to my my freaking teammates, you know, Vivid, Poach, Chap. Shout out to Steve, and shout out to everyone at home who is hoping I continue to legit clap everybody, bro.
All right, well, there you have it, boys.
72 hours, folks. Game 1 winner. This guy's a clown. Had a chance to talk to him a lot last night. Reflected on the early days of our competitive gaming careers. This guy's been at it for a very long time, and it's good to see him have that success. He had that ultimate high ground. He knew that he had that advantage. He played it up very well. That led to the W there. Very well done.
Yeah, it really worked out for him, and good to see him kind of coming on through with it.
Yeah, we'll see how he does, though, in match number 2. Still lots of Fortnite left to play. For now, though, let's go back over to Sundown, who's over at the analyst corner. He's got some more highlights from that game. What you got, bud?
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Certainly a lot of Fortnite to be played, but also a lot of legit clapping in that game, certainly. So take a look first. We're going to start with a nice double from Devious, pulling off this gatekeeping mechanic. Actually, we're going to start with a Fulmer clip on Bizzle, one of the favorites, dropping down on him from above. Just look at it right here. Make sure, again, with the gatekeeping, not letting Sean out, and then collapsing in, trying to find Bizzle, not quite there. Devious going to be up on the high ground, looking down. Poach trying to get in that late rotation we talked about. And ooh, the hand cannon right there. Perfect accuracy, but he's not done yet. Quick little build battle with Ghost. Kayun gets the trap above, uses the hand cannon. Now, it will only insta-break Fresh Built Wood. Noticing that, Devious lands the second shot. Unfortunately, unable to find the third elim. Kaizui, though, will find that third elim. Making sure he's landing the shots here. Great accuracy, 78 damage to the headshot, picking up Psalm on the rotation. no problem there. Aspect, the 16-year-old legend, dropping down in on Mateos, putting the pressure immediately for that 5th elim. Nice 2 points. Saf as well getting a great shot, picking up a point for his 3rd elim. Now, a player I really want to talk about is Armand. When he gets into it, he is absolutely unstoppable. Watch him here as he's coming around. Someone you wouldn't have heard of before necessarily, but operating incredibly effectively on this mid-ground tarp. Dropping the trap down in there and then following it up right away, using the siphon to keep on rolling. That 5th elim on Flossin and Kevy puts him in a fantastic spot going into the next game. Can't wait to see if he can continue it on. Back over to you, Lupo and Cypher.
Cam, thank you so much. One of the best analytical players I think I've ever seen. Sundown has been around for quite a while, and I think it shows big time. But as you were saying, that was only game 1, and I can't believe some of the aggressive gameplay that we saw in there. Can we talk about Aspect for just 2 seconds?
Absolutely. I was watching back in the green room, and to see him with such low health, but still so calm and making plays and pushing and waiting. He actually didn't even end up using his medkit. He healed himself up by eliminating 2 players and getting that shield and health back. That was insane. Expert decision making, and you can tell that he has a lot of experience in these late game hectic situations.
Aspect wasn't the only player that made some substantial plays at the end. We saw Ghoul pick up a number of eliminations simultaneously, but sitting up top into that last rotation, 72 hours secured the victory royale. The timing was absolutely perfect, and we have a set of statistics for 72 hours specifically. Now, you have to realize a player like that is going to wait. The timing is everything. I think earlier we had an opportunity, I think, to catch up with Tom, and he specifically made a comment about playing for late game. It was his focus. You can see there 405 damage dealt total and only 20 taken over the course of the entire match. 1 single shotgun elim, 2 elims total, but honestly it's that last one that matters, right? That victory royale, that's 3 free points. Put him high on the leaderboard right out of the gate, and that's got to be a solid game 1. On top of that, Cypher, the victory royale, it carries more weight than just the 3 points.
Oh, absolutely. When it comes to tiebreakers, victory royales is going to be the first thing that's going to set you apart from your competitors. So that's a really good pickup for 72 hours. And he played it smart. He played it slow. He didn't take any risks. And even up until the end, he waited for the perfect moment to jump off from the high ground and land that shotgun shot.
Victor Royale putting him ahead of his opponents. The scoreboard here, we'll take a look in just a second. If it comes down to a tiebreaker, 72 hours already has the leg up. As you can see there, 3 points. He's got a lead on Ghoul, but that's not who's in first. Armand with 7 total elims puts him at 5 points. Aspect right behind him at 4 points with 7 elims. 72 hours, Ghoul, Rose, Saf, Kaizui, Tokata, Tyler, and Kevy, your top 10 on the board here. Page 2. Rolling around a number of players. Actually, the top 17 all sitting on 1 point minimum.
Absolutely.
Right there, Legendian, the last one.
This is just the first game, you know. A lot of games are yet to be played, so we'll have to see what people have for the next 5 games. I just remember that when it comes down to it, the points are good, but securing that victory royale is definitely going to help Tom moving forward, 72 hours moving forward, just because of the fact that he's going to have that tiebreaker advantage against the other opponents.
Now, because he kind of has that tiebreaker advantage, Cypher, do you think going into game 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, it's going to change the way that he plays specifically? Is it time to push potentially more for a little more aggressive gameplay, get some eliminations? We saw it from Aspect.
Yeah.
We saw it from multiple players.
He absolutely can. The thing is, though, Tom typically likes to play very consistent game to game, and we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure he's just going to keep landing and wailing.
Speaking of seeing, Cypher, game 2. The solo section of the secret skirmish here at that undisclosed location. The bus is launched. The players are out. We got to see where everybody's going to drop today. Kind of a northeast to southwest corner spread here. Early game, game 2, Cypher at solos. What do you think the call is? Where would you drop?
I mean, I personally would drop Viking, but, you know, I might find my former teammate Nick Merckx or my rival Zexro there, so that's going to be a tough little drop. But that's my favorite go-to spot. So if I was in this game, I'd go with Viking.
See there in the bottom right corner of your screen, folks, 72 hours. Tom, as we've learned to call him over and over again. If anybody's confused, that's that is in fact his first name. Surprise.
Looks like he is changing things up.
Top of Dusty Depot. Quite a few materials here. A couple chest drops. Loot is okay. but he does have the lead in down into the divot itself.
There's two other players in the divot. One of them is actually right beneath him. I don't think that player that landed there really has too much loot right now. McDonald taking 2 hits, already down to 15 health.
It's funny, we're literally discussing potentially early game aggression, and here we see 72 hours, maybe listening in or something. He's going to go for this early game push. McDonald hiding inside the crate. I don't think he has. I don't think he has a weapon. I don't think
it's too soon. Like he didn't have any time. He maybe messed up his landing.
At this point, it looks like McDonald might just be trying to slow 72 hours down, hoping someone might third party come in from the outside. There it is, first elimination.
He did not even have a weapon to his name right there. That is a little unfortunate. You got to work on the landing there, or you will be punished in this game.
Based on the skin, that literally was shooting fish in a barrel. I hate to make the joke, but I had to. Meanwhile, over here, Happy Hamlet, Overpeak, and Naga Ops in a tight 1v1. Pearl is just to the south. Looks like there are 5 players total. We've seen in the duos, a number of duos landed down here and split the 4 corners like you see in the minimap, but it looks like this time around we have 5 total. Means Overpeak and Naga are going to get into it here in just a second. Looks like Naga might be holding a pump shotgun through that wall. You see the silhouette there looking for a range shot from Naga Ops before you know it.
He's gonna have to land his pump shot really well right here. He is getting a little bit of health off, so both opponents kind of lower health. Whoever lands the perfect shot is gonna get it. Overpeak does not have a shotgun in this fight. And that is a big disadvantage, as you can see right there. Even though he landed the shots with the SMG, it's just not enough burst damage to end the fight quick enough. Naga Ops did have that pump, and it played out in his favor.
That very accurate flick shot there. Naga Ops securing that quarter of Happy Hamlet as his own. We have a real quick replay we'd like to cut to of Aiden, one of the stars of the show. Yesterday we referenced him a number of times, his duo teammate Butter, but on the solo side of things, let's take a look, see how he's doing here. Unsurprisingly landed at Tilted Towers and drop in, and he's getting very aggressive. That pump, wow, pays off big, a 130 crit shot as he secures an elimination in the bottom of, I believe that is the pawn shop down there, south side of Tilted.
Now we saw Pearl landing in Happy Hamlet quite a bit yesterday in the duo competition, and he's not changing it up this time. Clarity G, also somebody who was landing in Happy Hamlet. It seems like some of these players carry over their duo strats into the solo games, and that's good to see the consistency there.
The only problem, would you have any fear if you were in competitive Fortnite player like that, like you said, duo strats carrying over to solos? Does that become an issue? Or do you think these players have played together so much, do they already all know each other's strats?
Well, to be honest with you, every game is just different enough to where even knowing where somebody lands isn't going to give you too much of an advantage against them. You still have to face off against them, and sometimes you're going in somebody else's territory for the very first time. They're very comfortable with the looting. They know where people are. They know where the ammo crates. Oh my God.
Almost getting caught off guard there. Clarity goes down to Pearl, just barely missing the elim. It was close.
That was close. It just came down to a few shots, one edit play, but both players were playing very aggressive, but Pearl just had the better shot in that situation.
Here we have Jay Young and Landjock literally stuck in the same one-by-one. Oh no! Ownership of the ramp. Jay Young opting to rotate to the outside, but gets caught off guard. Landjock secures that elimination, that great tack shotgun. Look at the build damage. 1,569 versus the 95 shotgun damage alone to a player. That's all it takes sometimes, that one shot.
Landjock was probably putting a lot of pressure on Jay Young prior to us tuning in here, which is why they ended up being in the same one-by-one together.
Does not surprise me. Meanwhile, back in Tilted Towers, Aiden deuces the basketball court. A 1v1 situation. Ifa may not push in. You saw him in the background screen there, but we're worried more about these two. Those dual pistols coming in big for Aiden as
Deuces is decides to just rift away. See, last game, Deuces was the one hunting down Aiden the entire time, and now Aiden is on the chase for Deuces. I wonder if Aiden's going to use this opportunity to reposition, maybe go somewhere else, and continue farming up. He did say he wants to play for the late game. Aiden is a really, really excellent slayer, but he's yet to have a lot of success in the late game situation. So I'm hoping we can see some of that from him today.
See the bottom right corner of your screen. One of the boys from FaZe, Nate Hill and Legidian. Little one by one, or 1v1 still down here. Happy handle. Looks like Legidian trying to rotate away. They may have been in a scuffle just before this. The build count very low for Nate, but he is going to take advantage. That is a new feature in 7.4 Cypher. Very important to note. Those campfires you see sitting around on the ground, if they're not burnt out, you don't see the smoke, you can pop down right onto them, hold down the interact button, and boom, you get a free campfire, which in cases like this, Nate is going to benefit huge. Big value from that campfire.
They've been extremely convenient ever since they've been added to the game. If you know where they are, you can always go check on them. Like you said, one-time use, but it's going to give you about 50 health back, and sometimes that's really what you need to get back into the action.
50 HP could be the difference between a 1 pump and 2. You see on the left side of your screen there, Legidian and Nate Hill. You have Armand, one of the stars of the previous match, flying around. He's in that storm wing. You see at the very bottom of the map, just barely his name cut off there, Floxy, hanging out at Frosty Flights. I think the FaZe guys in their scrimmage games, in fact, a lot of these players, Frosty Flights is seen as one of the best drops. I referenced it yesterday, and I'd like to do the same today. Storm wings, tons of chests. You have countless metal material there, which is massive for late game, for building up and boxing up and turtling. You know, that slow strategic play. But Frosty Flights isn't the only focus. Saf, the winner. One of the winners from our duos yesterday.
Definitely had probably the best moment of the tournament yesterday.
Absolutely insane.
Over here in Shifty Shafts with the likes of Blind and Snood. These are some really dangerous players here. To be very aggressive. So I want to see how this this plays out. If Blind decides to make an aggressive move, but it looks like he wants them to rotate, and he's trying to just sneak around, using the environment without building, without giving away his location. He only has 30 builds to his name, so it's probably why he's playing it a little bit slower. He also does not have extra shield on him, so we'll have to see what his plan is. It's more like a passive approach here. He's probably going to drop down and start farming up, maybe looting, maybe trying to find some extra loot that was left behind. Snood does hear him, so he's got to be careful.
Meanwhile, Saf, Takata may end up running into each other. This pair of buildings at Shifty Shafts. Pretty common blue drop. So we take some shots from the trees.
Here we go.
Maybe just pushing for it. Doesn't want to give away the fact that he's following Takata. He's sneaking up.
Takata hears him though and turns around and takes some shots. He's got to be careful. You see, sometimes playing safe is the move, but in this situation, it did not go in his favor. Although Takata is going to constantly be moving in. Saf is going to use his builds to rotate through. Saf is a very, very smart player. You notice that usually he'll opt out of taking the fight until it's absolutely necessary, which is why we saw him in in yesterday's tournament. Even though he only had 2 elims in the late game, he ended up finishing with 7. He likes to get those elims at the very end.
Surprises me, to be quite honest with you, that he did not take shots.
Yeah, I mean,
basically at all. He aimed once just to see if he had an opportunity, but Takata blocked him off the wall. Like he said, avoiding the fight is one thing. I think at least trying to deal a little bit of damage, apply pressure is something else entirely. And Saf didn't even do that. It was literally like a puppy dog following along, just trying to stay on his toes.
Yeah, I mean, I think 8 or 9 out of 10 of the players in this lobby would have shot, but Saf didn't. Maybe he knows something they don't.
Potentially, we'll have to see here. Deuce is still in Tilted Towers. He's going to have to rotate out. You have a number of players in the minimap that are still in there as well. You see Aegis in front, bottom of that building, 3-story over there. Another player on the far south side going out that little canyon from the pawn shop, and he is at the south side of the map, the mini map. They're actually going to run into each other here in a second. We'll have to see if one of those little arrows disappears. You can hear the shots between the two of them. The soccer field already thick with opponents. Deuces going across, one elimination. Meanwhile, Dopeye here actually is that 1v1 that was happening. Shout out production for the cut to that. Thank you. Nistic and Dopeye stuck in a very barely held up structure. I think there might be one ramp. The brick, the bottom left corner of the screen is the only thing holding these two up at this point. We'll have to see if somebody knocks it down or reset on the build. Dopeye doing that little pyramid peek, and at this point, what do you do, Syph?
Well, at this point, he's got to make a move eventually, either go down and knock down Nistic, or just start rotating and hope that Nistic does not laser him. You saw that move he just did. He reset the floor, and he's peeking through the pyramid, and that's extremely smart because what would happen is if he opened up that pyramid and took a shot at Nistic, he could immediately crouch, and that floor will then become solidified and protect him from shots coming back from Nistic. It's a really nice high-level play that Dopeye is attempting to do, but just like I said, he's going to go ahead and try to rotate.